everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, and I'm gonna make up a little song while I check my audio levels. Here's the way that the song will go, cause this audio driver is a real devil. Okay, it's good. That's good news. I think I'm gonna do a greed mode run today, and we're gonna random, and it's on the streak, but I don't care about the streak as much as I care about just having a good old-fashioned family fun time. Curse of the Blind, 0T9S, 0BYJ. Let's see what we've got going on in here. Dinner for an HP upgrade is fine. I think we'll just start fighting the enemies then. I feel like I'm good at greed mode, but not nearly as practiced as I am in the actual version of the game. And if people are like, is greed mode going to be a regular thing? No, I would expect it to be the definition of an irregular thing. Basically, whenever I feel like it's been a while since we've played greed mode and people are asking for it and I want to do it, we're going to do it. But it's not going to take the place, apparently we found a crawl space somehow. It's not going to take the place of you know, dailies or anything like that, no matter how much a certain contingent of people might ask. You know, I think there's value in doing some greed mode occasionally, but I do still consider it almost like a fringe mode in the game, if that makes sense. Like, it's not the canonical game mode. It's like my third priority, I guess. Which is not to be insulting, I still like it, and that's why I'm playing it, but it's, honestly, it's a little bit weirdly balanced from a difficulty perspective. You usually have, like, a 25% chance to die on the first floor, or at least I do in my relatively limited experience, I suppose. And if we don't die on the first floor, pretty soon after, we just start to ball out of control. And this certainly does not seem like a die on the first floor sort of run right now, with 4 HP and starting as Isaac. But I like that it kind of, like, makes an effort to rebalance the characters for different mechanics. Like, Lilith, all of a sudden, is overpowered, I would say. Judas is a real scary proposition unless you get HP early. Even more so, I would say, than in non-greed mode. Your mileage may vary. You may agree or disagree. Also, oftentimes, greed mode has a tendency to be a little quick. Like, sometimes you can finish a greed mode run in, like, 18 minutes or something like that, but it's not my preferred length, but that doesn't make it terrible. Let's go check out this crawl space. It is an item, which is the best case scenario. Most of the time, unless it's a shitty item, in which case we'd probably rather have a consumable. Since I can't jump, that's a little tough to dodge, but we get 8-inch nails, which is a 1.5 times damage multiplier, I think, which is really, really amazing, especially this early on. And we'll go check out our shop, and you know what? I'm probably unlikely to buy stuff, which means that we could be missing out on stuff. That was a really nice, you know, 5 cents for 2 keys setup there. That means we may be missing out on some stuff, but I don't really want to buy shop items that I don't know what they are. Sister Maggie is just okay. Now, of course, if they were active items, we could just re-roll them after we pick them up and put them back down, but if they're, like, passive items, I don't want to pay, like, 15 cents for Mom's heals, right? Like, I think even though we may not know, or we may not be able to get any other items from the shop on this floor, and thus any other items at all outside of deals with the devil, we probably want to be smart about it and just save our money so we can actually purchase things that we understand. Starting with the next floor. This is not a good place to be starting. I think I broke them a little bit. One of them started without a body because I was standing inside of his body when he spawned, maybe? That's okay. I can definitely be okay with that. And we're going to be at 21 cents. Enough to buy a key on the next floor to make sure the key train keeps rolling. But also able to buy an item from the shop, which we'd probably try to do right away. But my principal concern right now is A, not dying, and then B, taking a deal with the devil item, because we are going to get one, but maybe not taking 2, depending on how, you know, life looks for us in that moment. Alright, do me a favor, spawn some bombs, try not to trap me. This is actually much easier than the last wave, I think, anyway. Sister Maggie, eager to do work, eager to prove herself in this economy. Let's take 1. Let's take 2, and I actually am happy we got Whore of Babylon out of that, because it's better than Multidimensional Baby, but Multidimensional Baby is going to be okay, and I'm a little concerned about the HP loss, but at least we got Precedent, and no Curse of the Blind on this floor. Ooh, Blood Rights is probably a guaranteed reroll. The Screw is beautiful. Let's reroll Blood Rights. Became Rubber Cement, which might synergize okay with Multidimensional Baby. And obviously we'll get Chaos. That's like a must-get on Chaos runs. And we'll start it up here. I didn't go to the curse room on the last floor, by the way, just because I was anxious a little bit about our HP. We could have, though, because there was HP on this floor that was really easy to get. But this is good. This is a good start. I mean, rubber cement's good. Whore of Babylon may become useful for us if we can get, like, you know, Guppy's Paw, even temporarily. I would probably take them up on that. But in greed mode, I think it's a little bit harder to maintain. But maybe that's just because I've never really given it much credence or given it much thought, I suppose. That did 1 full heart of damage, so we are totally in lethal range. Be afraid, be very afraid. This is one of the things I like about greed mode, is this possibility that maybe the best thing for us to do is take a guaranteed half heart by pushing that button and then get the full heart that's in the shop, but it's not for the faint of heart, I think. It's also not for the owner of a lonely heart. Much better than a owner of a moldy fart. I'm telling you, after Glove Songs comes out, it's all gonna be about fart songs. I already talked about fart songs, didn't I? I seem to vaguely recall being like, once in a gum, but we knew it couldn't last. Something, 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 with a fart of glass. Okay, we're gonna take Jesus Juice, which is fine. We don't really want any of those other items, so we're not gonna burn anything on the reroll machine. Jesus Juice is a nice damage upgrade, and in greed mode, if your HP is gonna be low, you really want to be, you know, jamming on that damage upgrade. We're doing pretty well in that respect so far with 8-inch nails, Jesus Juice, Screw. That's about it right now, but it's still pretty good. Multidimensional Baby not hurting either, but we're going to take our money, go back to our shop, maybe use one of our bombs to try to get a reroll out of the reroll machine, and by try to, I mean guarantee ourselves a reroll out of the reroll machine. Just waiting for that arm attack. Good. Okay. Still got the deal with the devil. Blow this up. Take Skinny Odd Mushroom. I would like to get a key, but we can always just get one early on the next floor anyway, if there's not one available here. So we got Skinny Odd Mushroom, which lowers our individual damage, but greatly increases our rate of fire, which I would consider an extreme positive for us at this point in time. Again, anything that ups our DPS is going to be, it's going to be a pretty easy sell for me. We've already killed Blighted Ovum, just got Steven left, and then a deal with the devil that will actually be able to see and reroll. Kind of hoping for, like, Abaddon at this point. That kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Gives us the extra damage, but also gives us the Whore of Babylon effect. Okay, 2 black hearts is just okay. But that's okay in and of itself. I think we improved ourselves enough on this floor to be happy with this. But, I'm trying to think of a song that was, like, that would symbolize how I feel because I'm happy. But I can't think of one that's been played on the radio, like, incessantly for the past 2 years. It's, like, just a song that was about, like, what it felt like to have happiness, and like maybe if you felt like a room without a roof or something like that. I think we don't buy a key. Controversial, I know, but my thinking here is there's 2 Guppy items in there. I definitely want to be able to purchase both of those on this floor. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but I do know that if I spend 5 cents early, even though that seems like a pretty small number, that may be enough to actually sway it to the point where I can't get it. So, you know, why tempt fate, I guess is what I'm getting at. We also picked up the soul. There are worse Holy Trinity items for a greed mode run, but I'm not sure how the soul's going to be. I think I generally consider it to have a baseline of being pretty good to great, but I'm not sure if we truly fight many bullet hell enemies. Even Ultra Greed isn't really very bullet helly. Spawns some coins, but mostly it's the coins that spawn other things that are a problem for us. Okay, we've already finished the first set here. It looks like it's pretty likely we'll get to the amount of money I need to get those Guppy items, but we'll start with Guppy's Paw. Because by taking Guppy's Paw, we can also crank on that and put ourselves in the Whore of Babylon state. That is a huge statistical improvement. That is really good. And actually, it's gotten me to the point where I'm almost like, maybe we should just take Guppy's Paw instead of the D6 to ensure that we can stay with this extra damage that we've got going on right now, because it's really, really amazing. But we got kind of bigger plans right here. For now, take Guppy's tail. We're going to re-roll everything here. Little Baggy is, like, real terrible. I think we use a bomb and blow this up. And we got 2 bombs and a key out of it, which is actually pretty good. We got an HP... No, we've already re-rolled. This is a weird one. Because we could get a deal with the devil after this. I think why chance it? Let's just stick with what we got. I'm trying to get another 5 cents to buy a battery charge. So I'm thinking maybe we'll use a bomb right here. And that gave us... We don't need 5 cents, sorry. We only need a couple cents. I'm going to hurt myself on the curse room to pick up another penny. Please get away from the door. There we go. So we got our penny, and we checked out the curse room as well. Then we re-roll this again. We get a mom item. It's mom's heals. It was a free item, basically, but we did have to hurt ourselves a little bit. So, you know, whether you consider that truly free, I guess, is that's another question for another day. But I don't regret the decision. Let's put it that way. Having a reroll for the devil room would be nice, but I think we're playing it pretty well so far. Dude, there's no chance. That's the worst chaos. It's like double breakfast. There's no way we could have created a breakfastable situation so far, so that's a little bit of a wonky deal with the devil for me. Basically, that devil deal was like a reverse Guppy's Paw. Do you want to trade 3 spirit hearts for 1 red heart? No, I do not. I will take black candle, though. That's real good. And we'll start trying... Oh, wow. Nasty little bit of damage there. We'll start trying to make the next Guppy dream happen. I think Guppy... I've said this, I don't know. I've lost count of how many times, but I'm pretty sure it's easier to become Guppy once you have Chaos than it is before. And there's a case to be made both ways. Thank you, Soul, for your great safety net that you've given me there. There's a case to be made both ways. You know, you might say, well, a deal with the devil no longer gives you a higher chance of getting a Guppy item, and that's true. But it does still give you a small chance, as does every other room. And there's probably more... Oh, that was bad. There's probably more chances than, or more avenues to get chances than there are times where that deal with the devil odds making works out in your favor. I don't know if you understand what I'm talking about. It's not a complex idea, but I'm communicating it in an inefficient manner. Basically, would you rather the bakery you visit has a really high chance of having the cookie you desire? Or would you rather visit like 20 bakeries? What do you think your odds would be better at, assuming time wasn't a factor? This is like the worst analogy. Okay, I'm gonna buy a key. I'm gonna buy MONSTRO'S Lung because I think it's a fun item. I'll probably buy Steven, but we could also jam on the rerolls nicely here. We got toothpicks, which is awesome. Let's check our curse room before we make any decisions here. It's tough because Steven is a good item to pick up. But maybe we'd rather reroll. But if we were going to reroll, we should have rerolled earlier. Because we basically, in a way, probably wasted a charge. But it's not an easy decision to make, honestly. Do you take the damage upgrade, or do you try to go harder to get a Guppy chance? We can't really have best of both worlds unless we get to 30 cents, which we could do by hurting ourselves, but is a little tricky to swing. By the way, MONSTRO'S Lung Rubber Cement Multidimensional Baby... working out pretty nicely here. That time we weren't going to get a charge, so I don't think we have to worry about our inefficient re-rolling system. What am I think I got hit by the aura on the second attempt there, which is really embarrassing. Mr. Fred is such a weird boss, man. Please die. There we go. And the deal with the devil does not contain a Guppy item. But if it doesn't contain Lump of Coal, we're going to get a fat reroll in anyway. And that's not Lump of Coal, so we rerolled it into a Guppy item. All is forgiven. We become Guppy. We're probably steamrolling from this point onwards. Let's take Steven. BFF would be nice, and actually we can fly now. We got Algiz, which is great for Ultra Greed. So you know what? Sure, let's take BFF. And there's so many... What did we do to get so many breakfasts? Like, we've seen breakfast so many times. What if I'd picked it up? Would that take it out? I don't know. What I do know is that we're seeing it way more than I'd expect out of a run that has not re-rolled the shit out of things so far. We'll probably end up re-rolling Necronomicon, because it's not very good. But we should pick it up first. But above all else, we should probably get a re-roll first. I find it funny, after all that discussion of whether the deal with the devil is a better chance to get Guppy with or without Chaos, you know, we actually got the deal with the devil to give us a Guppy item in spite of the fact that we had Chaos, but that's... Maybe you don't share my sense of humor there because it's not actually funny at all. It's not tragic, it's just not, it doesn't tickle the funny bone, I think, of most individuals. We don't have any keys yet. Well, we should check the shop. Maybe there's a better chance to get a good reroll in there. It's all breakfast, dog. As far as the eye can see, it's just 100% breakfast time. There we go. Now we got a guppy item. Black powder. I don't think they're that useful. I should have picked that up first, but unlikely to be a major deal. You know what? Instead of Nod Leaf, I am going to take the 9 volt. And we're going to get our 15 cent come back here. I don't think black powder is that useful. We'll take champion belt instead. And we've pretty much built up a run that will be tough to lose, but HP is always a little bit of a sore spot on these runs. And we're getting pretty close to the end. We're on Shoal, so we only have like one more floor to go, I think. And that scares me ever so slightly. Because 5.5 HP is not that much, but with Algas it might be enough. I mean, we can beat Ultra Greed without taking hits. It's just kind of unlikely, or less likely. Weirdly enough, we don't want 9 lives. I think we just head down to the next floor. And we don't want 9 lives because it would take us out of Whore of Babylon. And also ruin... No, we don't have Polaroid invincibility or anything, so nothing to worry about there. Alright, let's check out the shop. Where I will be far less concerned with picking up items, because as far as I'm concerned, we've already met that, like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs for HP. HP and damage, rate of fire, DPS, etc., etc. And now we're mostly looking out for cool synergies, but maybe just, like, a couple of Spirit Hearts purchased from the shop. A few Spirit Hearts purchased from the shop. We're pretty much set, so at least from a tactical level, we don't have to worry that much. I do find myself focusing more on the game than on the commentary when I play this. I guess it's because I'm not on, like, mechanical autopilot yet. Which sounds like a bad thing, but it opens up your mind to think a little bit more abstractly, I guess, while you're talking. Whereas, like, right now I'm like, okay, let's focus on killing the enemies. I want to make sure I don't make an egregious mistake, which most of the time when that happens, I'm not aware of it until much later anyway. Not sure why we just got Whore of Babylon there, but... maybe that's gonna improve our damage, even though it doesn't seem like it should. Wow, that was ridiculous. Ridiculously strong, that is. Now it's all guppy items. I don't know what we did to deserve this, but I guess I'm happy about it. If only there was some kind of song that could fit the bill for what I'm feeling right now. I know we could be using our bomb on the reroll machine instead, which is probably what we should do. Let's take deep pockets first. It's okay. Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, that was full-on idiocy right there. Just a complete waste of the bomb. Normally, the final wave here is 3... Oh, that is the final wave. I forgot that we actually fought the bosses first. I'm not going to take any of this. And truth be told, that's probably going to give us like a pretty easy win here against Ultra Greed. It's also going to give us a very fast Isaac video, which is one of the other reasons that Greed Mode's not going to show up all the time, because I'm sure that there's people who are going to be like, normally... watch your videos while I'm eating breakfast, but I still got half a bowl of cornflakes here, and you're already fighting Ultra Greed. I can understand that. Don't worry. If I was just pumping them out literally as fast as possible, we'd be doing Greed Mode all over the place. We'd be pimping all over the world, but I prefer the slightly longer form Isaac content as well. But a Greed run here and there keeps the skills sharp, you know? It's like the mashed potatoes might be your favorite part of the meal, but you can't have a meal that's just mashed potatoes. It's gonna leave your body looking like a mashed potato. You gotta keep your triglycerides in check, you know? And if you're screaming at me, saying, use the Algas rune, I'm gonna use the Algas rune, okay? I'm just enjoying practicing my dodges a little bit with some form of consequence before we actually literally have to use the Algas rune, or it would be considered a waste. So I think we've done a pretty good job of that until literally that moment. Alright, let's crank on this. Pretty much the only thing I'd rather have that I don't have right now is, like, the wafer. I wonder if there's something to be said for, like, getting Multidimensional Baby over here and then firing into Multidimensional Baby and also into the wall to scatter the shots as much as possible. I think not is the answer to that question. Okay. Keep the flies swirling. The flies are our own, you know, wafer shield. We're not going to get hit we're not going to get hit by anything that can be destroyed as long as that's around us. And it looks like we will finish this off and be able to donate to the Greed Machine for our second crack at 1,000, which is, like, completely irrelevant. Unless Afterbirth Plus adds some. You never know, man. You never know. And there you go, 55. Into the chest. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with a normal run after this. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And I'll see you next time.